Hey y'all, what's up? It's your boy imjayhero today, and honestly, this video is going to be really laid back and chill as you can, take a look at my drawing process for this new storm piece that I've worked on recently. But honestly, I'm really going to be talking about my journey, my emotional journey with the topic of sitting with discomfort or really staying grounded during turbulent times. So to provide a bit of a disclaimer, this video is not going to be scripted or anything like that. So I'm going to be winging it, y'all. So I do hope I make sense. I try to reel it back and clarify things towards the end, but yeah, it's a lot, and I guess I want to use this as an opportunity to kind of vent and just to really humanize like me as a person, as an artist, or the artistic experience for people who may not understand how difficult and labor intensive and laborious in other ways art can be, because we have to be artists and creators and exist as those things while also being a part of life, while living through life, while not only trying to live but to survive for a lot of us as well, because not a lot of us are afforded the privileges of being able to breeze through life with the luxuries of just having everything afforded to us when it comes to the necessities of living. But all that being said, really, life is hard right now for me. I am going through a lot of turbulence, a lot of change. And as someone who experiences and has OCD and depression, and I try not to identify it as to say I am OCD or I am depression. I experience those things. Those are part of my emotional experience. But, and also anxiety, it brings to awareness the things I need to do to take care of myself. And in doing that, in that self-care, I reflect a lot on my emotions and my how I'm feeling. And so I'm always looking for ways to figure out how to navigate, difficult challenges, and especially because they are so often, and they happen all the time, whether it be emotionally, physically, spiritually, politically, socially, whatever. It's all around us, all those kinds of things. And so for me, I have just been overwhelmed with life, in all kinds of facets and all kinds of capacities. And I think for me, just politically, socially, as an empath, like I feel everything. I feel like it feels like I feel everything happening in the world. Especially because it's so amplified and elevated on social media, I feel like I am just getting sucked into this narrative that everything is just terrible and hopeless, and in some ways it is, in a lot of ways, very terrible, very much bleak. And I think that is a very reasonable perception to have, especially during these times. But I guess for me, I've been trying to be intentional about exercising ways where I can look for opportunities of joy, but also hope, because we need those things during this time. And so I've been looking at that, through the stories of other people, through art, through storytelling, through all kinds of things. I think primarily just through, for me, just my art and storytelling has been allowing me to just, if I can't experience a world that is free, maybe I can create one. And so, for example, I have been working on comics that sort of imagine worlds like that in different facets and different capacities. So for those of who have been following my journey, that includes Star Wielder, that includes The Black Boy Who Roared, which is my first limited ongoing series. So I'm excited about that. But all that being said, outside of just the turbulence of social stuff, there's a lot happening personally as well. I'm in the process of moving. I haven't decided where I'm moving to yet. Need, definitely, because in part lease is ending, need a change of pace, and I need something more that I can afford. And so I'm trying to just change things around in my life, and to really, I came to the realization fairly recently that I have been living somewhat, my God, inactively. I have been reacting to life, or allowing life to shove and to push me in every which direction, as opposed to me choosing a direction for myself and saying, hey, this is what I want to do. And I would deal with turbulence that comes with that decision, as opposed to something or someone choosing it for me. And I've been doing that for years. And so I came to that realization that that is what I was doing. And so I've been trying to, navigate that experience as well. Because, like I said, I'm moving. And so that has sort of forced me to be very proactive with my decision making instead of waiting around, because I gotta get things done. I was having some turbulence in other areas of my personal life, with some relationships, and so it was a lot to hold with that experience. And so, and then financially, like it's just very difficult for me financially right now. I'm in the process of just trying to make some very big decisions, trying to make some very big changes, trying to decide like, hey, if this is what sacrifices are necessary for me to make so that I can make sure that I'm okay, that at the end of the day, I at least have a roof on top of my head, right? So that being said, I have been overwhelmed with so much emotion, so much just life. And I feel like, yeah, as I'm speaking about it, it sounds like it's not much, but I'm sitting with the emotion right now and it feels heavy. And it feels like a lot, but which is in part why I'm, what's just the topic today is that, I can sit through hard things. I can sit with discomfort, right? Because, for example, I liken it to when I create art. Creating art is obviously a very laborious experience, and it can be emotionally exhausting as well. And I don't think people really realize that point too. In that also realizing that it comes at a cost. It comes at the cost of your energy, a bit of yourself that you're putting into your art, and you need to recover and you need to replenish. And so for me, I think I came to the realization that, with that realization, I have to continue to take care of myself, and it requires balance. It requires me making sure that I'm not just creating art, I'm pouring into myself. I also realized that I was like performing, for social media because I wanted attention on my art. I wanted people to see my art so that I can get opportunities, I can get clients, this and that. But that exhausted me because I didn't create art for that. And so I had to really step back and sit with these uncomfortable realizations and feelings and truths so that I can really be proactive about how can I change them. Because I cannot allow myself to continue life, with this awareness now that I have of these truths without doing something about them. And so my next decision moving forward is just really doing the best that I can to lean into my abilities to, the trust that I have in myself, my ability to make responsible decisions, my ability to just be overall to be okay, and to trust that I have this. And if I don't, I have enough confidence. I have enough, I have the emotional intelligence to say that I'm not okay, that I need help and to reach out. So listen, y'all, I'm doing the best that I can. And if you are in a similar position as me, where you're going through a lot, I understand. And I think what's really getting me through it, like most of all, is just consistently reminding myself that I can get through hard things, that I can get through the turbulence. If I can get through the turbulence of dealing with art, that is like, sometimes, as I was mentioning earlier, the artistic experience is very turbulent too, where you have the ugly stage and it's uncomfortable to deal with. You're like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, if I can deal with that, I can also deal with other areas of emotion and turbulence in my life where I can sit with discomfort. So it's all connected. I'm using this, I kind of use art as a practice to practice that sense of mindfulness and holistic sort of awareness and sitting with that uncomfortable experience so that I can be a better person and not let life take control of me because I'm tired. Because if it's not me moving, or if it's not me struggling to find consistent income and struggling to find a job, it's going to be something else. I'm going to have an excuse and not an excuse, but it's a real thing, but it's always going to be something, right? So at some point, I have to say, hey, I have to take control of what I can and use the power that I have to take back agency over my life, and so that I can become and actually be the person that I was meant to be. That was a lot. Wish me luck.